He sued his HOA for $340K. Then, the real lie came out. On a Tuesday morning in early March, a rideshare driver walked into a courtroom seeking $340,000 in damages. By Friday afternoon, the jury would learn he had been lying, but not about what anyone expected. The rideshare driver had worked the same suburban circuit for nearly 4 years, shuttling residents in and out of the Maplewood Estates community, a gated HOA development of 847 homes nestled along the eastern edge of a mid-sized southern city. He was well-liked, familiar, the kind of man who remembered which residents preferred silence and which ones wanted conversation. His relationship with the HOA board was, by all accounts, cordial. Until the community wellness fair changed everything. In the second week of October, Maplewood Estates hosted its annual health screening event, a volunteer-run initiative coordinated by the HOA's events committee. Residents and affiliated service workers were invited to participate in free cholesterol panels, blood pressure readings, and basic metabolic screenings. The screenings were administered by a registered nurse contracted through a local wellness company. The driver attended. He had his blood drawn, and 11 days later, he received a printed results letter through the HOA's internal mail distribution. A letter stating that his fasting glucose levels indicated a strong likelihood of type 2 diabetes and recommending immediate consultation with a physician. What followed, according to his testimony, was 4 months of medical chaos. He described quitting sugar entirely, purchasing an expensive continuous glucose monitoring device, paying $200 out of pocket for an endocrinologist consultation, and suffering what he characterized as severe anxiety and depression. He stopped driving for 6 weeks, losing an estimated $1,400 in income. He told the court he had lived in genuine fear of organ failure. His voice cracked when he described telling his teenage daughter that he was sick. The HOA's defense was straightforward and delivered without apology. Their attorney argued that the wellness fair materials, signed by every participant, including the driver, contained explicit disclaimers stating that the screenings were not diagnostic medical evaluations, that results were preliminary only, and that all participants should seek independent medical confirmation before drawing any clinical conclusions. The disclaimer was printed in 14-point font. The driver had initialed it 3 times. Furthermore, the HOA argued they had no medical licensing obligations in this context. They were a homeowners association, not a hospital. They had provided a community service in good faith. Whatever the driver chose to do with preliminary screening data was his own decision. Both sides were sympathetic, both sides were logical. The jury was deadlocked at the end of the first day. Then the defendant's attorney requested the medical records, all of them. What the records revealed was not fraud in the way courtroom dramas typically package it. The driver had not faked his distress. His anxiety was real. His dietary changes were real. His fear was real. But buried inside the endocrinologist's intake paperwork was a notation that shattered his damages claim. The driver had been formally diagnosed with prediabetes 14 months before the wellness fair. He had known. He had an existing care plan. His personal physician had documented 2 prior counseling sessions about glucose management. The HOA's screening results, far from being a catastrophic misdiagnosis, were broadly consistent with the condition the plaintiff had already been told to monitor. The 6 weeks he stopped driving had been planned in advance. Records showed he had enrolled in a part-time online business course during that same window. The jury deliberated for 3 hours on the final day. They awarded the driver $4,800, covering only the documented out-of-pocket cost of the endocrinologist visit, on the grounds that the HOA's disclaimer process, while legally adequate, had been administered without any follow-up communication or physician referral resource. The judge declined to award legal fees to either party, noting that the HOA bore marginal negligence for providing health screenings without directing participants to qualified medical professionals, and that the plaintiff bore moral responsibility for pursuing damages he knew to be inflated. The driver's attorney filed a notice of intent to appeal within 30 days, then quietly withdrew it 2 months later. The HOA voted at their December meeting to permanently discontinue the wellness fair. The contracted wellness company lost 6 other municipal contracts in the following year once the case became public record. The driver returned to operating in the Maplewood Estates zone. Several residents stopped requesting him. The relationship between community goodwill and individual accountability played out in miniature inside that courtroom, and neither side walked away clean. Here's the question worth sitting with. If someone genuinely suffers, even when they've exaggerated why, do they still deserve something?